having an intense pull towards one Shakti. Maybe you're attracted towards certain mantras or certain temples or certain forms of Ambal, Shakti. And it seemed to, you feel like it is calling you again and again. What if I tell you that behind all these, if any form of Shakti that you are being attracted to, there is a reason. There are many forms of Shakti as per our Vedic scriptures, whom we worship. We worship Durga, we worship Lakshmi, we worship Saraswati, we worship Kali, we worship Lalitambika, we chant Lalita Sahasranamam, experiencing the grace of Mata Lalitambika. But hidden within the deeper layers of this Shakti path, there are powerful secret tradition that many of them could have heard some of the Shaktis, but very few can truly understand about it. Shri Matre Namaha Guru Kataksham Ambal Anugraham Paripurnam. In this video, I'm going to give you a deeper concept on Dasha Mahavidya. If you are attracted towards Mata Lalitambika or towards Mata Kali, then understanding these forms will completely transform the way you look at Shakti and the Shakti sadhana, because these Dasha Mahavidya are not different goddesses. They are 10 cosmic ways where Ambal is guiding you. I'm planning to do 10 episode video where I go deeper on each Shakti, about explaining the form and what the significance of the Bija mantra and all other important information that will strengthen your spiritual journey, strengthen your Shakti path. The Divine Mother, Shakti or Ambal, I call as Ambal, does not appear the same way to all, which means she comes and attracts in different forms. Before we go deeper into understanding Dasha Mahavidya, there is something that is very important that I want to tell you. Many experience something like this in their spiritual journey. At one stage of life, you feel extremely drawn towards Kali. You feel her presence, you feel her power, you feel her protection. You start chanting her namam. Maybe you also take the upadesham or initiation. You understand more about her. You learn many things, maybe even visiting temples. Then after some time, something changes. Your heart suddenly feels drawn to Mata Lalitambika or Durga or some other form of Shakti. And at that moment, you may feel uncomfortable. You may think, maybe you ask yourself, am I doing something wrong? Why is this happening in me? Why did my devotion change? Am I betraying the goddess that I have been worshipping so far? But here is the truth. Actually, you did not change. The mother changes the form in which she came to you, because Ambal never appears randomly. She comes into your life for a reason. Sometimes she comes to your life as Kali because you need strength. You need that fearlessness. She comes to you as Lalitambika because your soul is ready to Sri Vidya and for deeper awakening. So, mother knows what her child wants at every stage of life, and that is why the same Shakti appears in different forms at different times. So if you are feeling guilty because your devotion has shifted from one form to another, please don't feel that way. It is not, you are not wrong. It is the journey of Shakti guiding you step by step. If you have got this video in your feed and if you are watching this video, this is the message for you. Don't feel guilty about it, because these Shaktis are not separate forms, not competing with each other, but they are 10 different ways in which Ambal is guiding you through the evolution of your soul's journey. So hope this gives you some relief, and let us start with today's video on Dasha Mahavidya. As per Mantra Shastras, the mantras belonging to male deities is called as mantra. The mantra belonging to female deities is called Vidya. So there is Sri Vidya, which means the supreme Vidya, where Mata Lalitambika is the supreme deity. And there is Dasha Mahavidya, which is the Vidya, the mantra of Dasha Maha, which means 10 different Maha Shaktis. Maha means supreme. or great. It also signifies that it does not have form, or which is nirguna and suguna Brahma. So, which means that which has form and it is formless. Hence, Dasha Mahavidya is also known as Brahma Vidya, which means realizing the ultimate truth through this Shakti. This is a mantra sadhana of 10 forms of Shakti. This is a journey of self realization towards the final stage, and Ambal herself becomes your Guru. That's the reason I told you, right? She comes to your life because she is guiding you. She becomes your Guru. In Lalita Sahasranamam, one of the Namam is Guru Murti, which means she is a form of Guru. So if she is coming into your life, which means she is guiding you. So she is guiding the aspirant by imparting the knowledge of Shiva, which is Shivajnana Pradayini. Shiva is realizing the ultimate truth, ultimate potential. So that is Dasha Mahavidya. So these 10 Vidyas are the expression of the same Shakti. Here I call that these 10 Vidyas are not separate from Lalitambika. They are her 10 powerful expressions. Why these Mahavidyas? Why there are 10 forms? Each Mahavidya represents a stage in the spiritual evolution of a soul. So they are not separate from each other. They are different ways in which Ambal responds to the cries of her child. Sometimes she responds to protect, sometimes she responds to teach, sometimes she responds to give abundance. So behind all these forms, there is only one Shakti guiding her child to realize the true self. So let us start understanding these Dasha Mahavidya. Dasha is 10. Mahavidya is the supreme knowledge. So, and as I told, Vidya also means mantra. So these are the 10 parts which has the unique Bija mantra of each form, which helps you in realizing the true self. So the first in this is Kali, the mother, the Shakti who removes fear. Amongst the Dasha Mahavidyas, Kali appears first because the spiritual journey always begins in the destruction of fear. And when the time aligns, Kala also means time. So when it's the right time, you're ready for spiritual growth, she enters your life. Kali is time herself. She is a force that is present in everything, in past, present, and future. There is nothing escapes her. So the entire universe dissolves into her. Though her appearance is fearful, Ghora Rupa, actually she is utmost compassionate to her devotees. Often depicted her tongue extended, standing upon Shiva. There is Mundamala. Her dark form represents the infinite cosmic void from which creation happens. Everything is created. Her garland of skull symbolizes the Matrukakshara, the Sanskrit syllables. And when she is standing upon Shiva, it reveals that Shiva and Shakti are never separate. Just energy and consciousness. This image often people have fear towards it. Actually, she has come to remove that fear. Kali helps to overcome fear. The greatest fear of human being is fear of death, fear of losing something, fear of unknown. So Kali dissolves these fears completely. And when her grace enters your life, your heart starts becoming softer. The courage awakens within. Kali chooses her devotees when you are ready. So that is the first Dasha Mahavidya, which is Kali. I have already done a video on Kali. You can go through that. More videos are going to come in future. Now let us move on to the second Dasha Mahavidya, which is Tara. Tara, who helps you cross. Now, what to cross? Life is always called as samsara sagara. Human life is compared to a vast ocean, waves of suffering, which goes up and down. Suffering rises unexpectedly. Confusion comes. Sometimes we feel as if we are drowning in problems, unable to see the way out. So in these moments, Tara, the Shakti, appears in the form of Tara. She is the one who guides compassionately, who stretches her hand to that drowning soul and gives the way to cross those sufferings. Tara is actually the one who gives deeper knowledge, awakens you from within. For us, knowledge means Saraswati. Like Saraswati, she grants wisdom, but her wisdom is not the intellectual knowledge, but it is the that helps you navigate you from within. She will become like a guiding light, showing you the way forward. So that is Tara. Tara also shares that fierce protective qualities like Mata Kali. If you feel you're stuck in darkness, by worshipping Mata Tara, she will help you, guide you as a guiding light and give you the right knowledge to pull you out of that darkness. Moving on to the third Mahavidya, which is shodashi. Shodashi means the 16, the shodashi mantra has the 16 syllables. That's the reason it is called shodashi, because of 16 syllables. And it is represented by Mata Mahatripura. If Tara helps you to cross the ocean of life, cross the samsara sagara, Mata Mahatripura reveals the ultimate truth of existence is itself. That is the reason it is called Tripura Sundari. It's the radiant embodiment of divine perfection. Mahatripura Sundari symbolizes the completeness, the perfection of consciousness. She is the center of Sri Vidya tradition and the embodiment of Sri Chakra. So she reveals the deepest secret of existence, how creation emerges, how consciousness manifests, and how a soul can reunite with that supreme reality. So her wisdom is not something which cannot be just told, it must be experienced. So Shodashi enters your life, Alitambika enters your life through her grace, knowledge, which transforms into ultimate realization. By worshipping Mata Tripura Sundari, you will be attracting abundance and prosperity, ultimately realizing a fulfilling life. The fourth Mahavidya is bhuvaneshwari, which means the ruler of all the worlds. So if Shodashi represents the inner secret of consciousness, bhuvaneshwari represents the vastness of creation. Everything that exists, the galaxies, oceans, planets, mountains, all living beings exist within her. So she is not just the creator of the universe, she is the universe itself. In Durga Saptashati, there is this powerful verse which says, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsthita. She exists as that energy that allows your heart to beat. She exists as that breath moving through your lungs. She exists as the intelligence, Buddhi Rupena Samsthita, guiding every cell in your body. Modern science speaks about mitochondria as the powerful powerhouse of cells. So our rishis saw the same truth in a deeper way. The entire universe is powered by Shakti. So that Shakti is Bhuvaneshwari. When you seek Mata Bhuvaneshwari's presence, everything becomes divine. You see divinity in everything. The first three Mahavidyas, Kali, Tara and Shodashi, they represent the cosmic principles. Bhuvaneshwari is like the bridge that manifests these cosmic intentions into the physical form. So she is the one who transforms from abstract spiritual energy into concrete material reality. By worshipping Mata Bhuvaneshwari, you will be able to have stability, growth and success in your life. Now moving on to the fifth Mahavidya, which is Tripura Bhairavi. Like Kali, Tripura Bhairavi represents in a fearful form. She is the counterpart of Bhairava. She is embodiment of unstoppable flow of transformative energy. Kali is tend to be compassionate, but Bhairavi is not gentle and she's not comforting. She's like blazing fire that burns away impurities from your life. And Bhairavi is integration of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. When you are worshipping Mata Tripura Bhairavi, you seek for protection, you seek for abundance, you seek for knowledge, you seek for enlightenment. Why? Because the spiritual journey is not always gentle. Sometimes you you have to be purified through intense transformation. This is where Tripura Bhairavi appears to remove those spiritual impurities. So remember this, Tripura Bhairavi's grace often comes during difficult moments of your life, when old karmas are coming out, when challenges are coming into your life repeatedly. In those moments, Bhairavi is working within you. She destroys the weakness. She burns away that ignorance. So you can worship Tripura Bhairavi if there is life-threatening situations, chronic illness, or challenges that you feel it is very difficult to overcome. One important thing is her worship requires courage. That's the reason you have to start from Kali. Yeah, you cannot straight away go to Bhairavi, Tripura Bhairavi, because her worship requires courage. Because she does not, she's not soft. She does not cuddle her devotees inside. Instead, she pushes you through that fire of transformation, so that you'll be able to emerge out of it stronger after you get purified. Yeah. So that is Tripura Bhairavi. Moving on to the sixth Shakti, which is chinnamasta. So masta is the head, or mastika. It is a head. Chinna is severed. So her name literally means the one whose head is severed. If you look at the depiction of the form of Mata Chinnamasta, if you don't understand the deeper meaning, you feel somewhat seeing that image. But she is the most compassionate form of Shakti, because her appearance, though it may look fearful, with all the blood seen, the head is severed, but it has a deeper meaning. So her image shows Ambal holding her severed head while three streams of blood flow from her. The head represents the ego, the false identity that is created by your mind. So in spiritual journey, the greatest obstacle is not the external world, but the false identity by the mind internally. The moment that identity dissolves, that ego dissolves, the pure consciousness is revealed. So these three streams of energy flowing represents the three great nadis: Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, and the Sushumna Nadi. The two nadis that is being feeded is Ida and Pingala, and the third nadi, which is drunk by her own severed head, is the Sushumna Nadi. And her form depicts the complete transformation of physical desire, complete transcendence of physical desire and ego-based cravings. By worshipping Chinnamasta, she removes the mental distractions and that oscillation that happens in the mind, bringing that restless mind to that complete stillness. But most importantly, because Chinnamasta, the sadhana of Chinnamasta is very intense, the energy is intense, and transformation it can't be explained that easily. So it should be practiced under proper guidance. By worshipping Chinnamasta, you will realize that when the ego disappears, the divine reveals. So that is Chinnamasta for you. Moving on to the seventh Mahavidya, who is dhumavati. Dhuma is, smoke, which means hidden. I feel dhumavati is the most misunderstood aspect of Shakti. Because her appearance is like that. She appears as old widow surrounded by smoke. She does not represent beauty or prosperity. Dressed in toned clothes, seated on a horseless chariot. Now, if you look at all the representation here, this is exactly opposite of the societal typical rejections, which is considered inauspicious. Old age, widowhood, poverty, these are inauspicious. But she's appearing in that form. Dhumavati teaches the profound lesson that divinity exists in all states of life, in all form, including that considered inauspicious or unfortunate. So, which means she is representing the principle of detachment, letting go of that worldly binding, releasing those attachments to youth, to beauty, to wealth, to social status by worshipping Dhumavati. Those who is particularly, are feeling powerless, are going through divorce, or death of spouse, who are going through financial struggles, bankruptcy, or who are feeling depressed, lonely. How Dhumavati helps is she does not remove the suffering by changing the external situations. She transforms you from within. Actually, she represents the wisdom hidden within that suffering, within the loss, within that loneliness. Because life is not always filled with celebration. Every human being eventually faces some moment of some issues in their life, loss of relationship, financial hurdles. So, in those moments, remember this Shakti, remember Dhumavati, and actually Dhumavati will appear. Dhumavati helps you in overcoming that laziness, overcoming that negative thoughts, overcoming the hidden enemies within. She clears the illusion, Dhuma, so that new growth can begin in your life. So that is Dhumavati for you. Moving on to the eighth Mahavidya, who is bagalamukhi. Bagalamukhi represents the Stambhana Shakti, which means the ability to paralyze, the ability to stop, freeze. Her form is depicted pulling the tongue of an enemy or the demon with her left hand while with striking that with the right hand. Means this depicts the ability to silence those who speak evil, who spread who have malicious intentions. She does not only protect her devotees, but she actively freezes the speech, the intellect of the enemy or those who are opposing, but in a dharmic way. It's not like misusing it. Whoever misuses such Shaktis actually will not succeed. I want you to remember this. Most importantly, just because the representation of Dhumavati, just because the representation of Bagalamukhi is such that she paralyzes the enemy, so you can use it. Actually, her worship is very, very intense. It is like touching high old. It is like touching high voltage. Her energy is intense, very fiery, and potentially dangerous if someone approaches with wrong intention. So she should be invoked only for dharmic protection, defending yourself against genuine threats. There are moments of life where negative forces rise in your life. It could be in the form of jealousy because of which you are suffering, of someone is jealous of you who is not allowing you to grow, who is gossiping about you, who is deliberately bringing you, talking bad about you, can hinder your progress. Bagalamukhi appears in those moments as a divine protector. By worshipping Mata Bagalamukhi, you seek protection so that you can continue your dharmic path without any disturbance. And that's the reason she tests the integrity and intention of her sadhaka. So that is Bagalamukhi for you. Moving on to the ninth Mahavidya, who is Raja Matangi or Matangi. Now, after a seeker has passed through intense purification process by going through this 8 Mahavidyas, or you may not be going through all 8 Mahavidyas, but you will be in some of the Mahavidyas because that's how Ambal chooses you to help you, whichever stage of life you may be in, whichever soul journey you are in. Based on that, she appears in your life. So after you pass through intense purification, then this new stage begins at the 9th Mahavidya. This stage is represented by Raja Matangi, who gives you that refined wisdom. Though Matangi, the representation looks like Saraswati, but her wisdom is beyond that, just the speech, music, art, It's beyond that. She helps you, guides you towards highest knowledge of consciousness. And most importantly, Rajamatangi gives you that Vashikarana Shakti, which means the power of attraction, becoming charismatic, making you magnetically attractive, influential. When you worship Rajamatangi, you'll gain the ability to divinize anything you create, anything that you touch, infusing even ordinary becomes extraordinary. In Sri Vidya, Matangi, Raja Matangi is the mantrini of Mata Lalitambika. She's the one who handholds towards, refining the ultimate consciousness. So that is Raja Matangi for you. Moving on to the 10th Mahavidya, who is Kamalatmika. After the previous Mahavidyas are conquered, fear, overcoming fear, Kali, guiding across difficulties, Tara, granting prosperity and realizing true self, shodashi, manifesting whatever intention that you have, bhuvaneshwari, removing the obstacles, bhairavi, transcending the ego, the false identity, chinnamasta, healing the grief, dhumavati, silencing the enemies, bagalamukhi. Matangi appears to bestow joy and happiness and concludes at kamalatmika, which is abundance and liberation. Though Kamalatmika, the form of Kamalatmika seems like Mata Lakshmi, but she is beyond that. She is not just the one who gives prosperity, but she also represents both bhukti and mukti. She represents worldly happiness, worldly abundance, and spiritual liberation as well. Mata Kamalatmika represents the culmination of the spiritual journey through the other 9 Mahavidyas. After all fears have been conquered, after crossing the ocean of samsara sagara, after gaining that supreme knowledge, after manifesting the intentions, after burning through the obstacles, after dissolving the ego, after healing the grief, after silencing the opposition, and after gaining that mastery of knowledge of supreme consciousness, Kamalatmika appears to grant both the enjoyment of materialistic life and abundance and ultimate freedom, which is liberation. When you realize this Kamalatmika, it recognizes that true spirituality embraces materialistic, rather rejecting the materialistic world. Know that enlightenment includes abundance as well as moksha. So it has both. So if you look at it, this is the complete journey of the soul. In every stage of this journey, Ambal is there guiding you in different forms. If you want to go deeper into Shakti Sadhana, I conduct free workshop which is Shakti Awakening with Lalita Sahasranamam. I have given a WhatsApp group link below this video. Do join the group where I'll be sharing the details of the upcoming workshop. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you. Do share this video to someone who needs to know about this Dasha Mahavidya. So now did you realize that if you are drawn towards Kali, there is a reason. If you are drawn towards Mata Lalitambika, there is a reason. If you are drawn towards Tara or Chinnamasta, there is a reason. You have realized that Ambal comes into your life to guide you. She knows what you need at every stage of your spiritual journey. In the comment, do let me know which Shakti you are drawn to. Are you attracted towards Kali or Chinnamasta or Kamalatmika? Do let me know in the comment section. Guru Kataksham Ambalanugraha Paripurnam. Shri Matre Namaha.